Today is the day for our first video on this new channel, Blastercaded Playing. It's new today, and if you see this in the future, it was new today on this date, not your date. Let's go. Hello and welcome to another episode of Blastercaded Playing. Today we're playing a game of Violent Dark by Black Site Studios. This game is super cool. Just so you know, a couple things. Number one, we get a ton of rules wrong. Like a bunch. But we have fun playing and learning the game. Was going to be just a learning game, and I thought, I'll just film it. And yes, it is a little long. Hopefully we're going to get that down in the future. It will get better. And number three, the quality of the cameras is going to go up in the next couple of videos. I have got some new equipment since I filmed this game and the next Violent Dark game. So the first two Violent Dark games aren't going to look as good. So you might see some switching between quality, but eventually it will even out later on down the road. But yes, the quality will get better. And without further ado, although I don't really feel like any of this was ado, here's the first game. Let's go. Okay, so we're going to try our first game of Violent Dark. Now, this setup in particular, not the board setup, the cameras and all that, this was all decided on during a live chat of what would be best. So, instead of a dice cam, they said you should be able to see me. This camera is very white, and I obviously need to get a new camera for this section. But we're going to try the first game of Violent Dark. And I created my crew. So I have a military mercenary corporation member. This is Reeves Maginot. I've got my officer Malone in a weird chair. I've got my specialist Roderick here. He's got a large wrench. And I have my other specialist, Mitch Barner. He has an incinerator unit. So this is going to be difficult. There's going to be a lot of checking rules. But hopefully I will be able to edit most of that out. So let's try. And the first thing we do is start with the ISS phase. This is what's happening. So we would do a vital scan. If anybody had stress, nobody has stress because it's the first turn. Emergency wake-up protocol, that would be if a cryosleep member died. If a crew member died, a new crew member comes out. So then there's an interior scan. If there's no high threat area tokens on the table, add 2 tokens. D10 plus 2 inches randomly away from the center of the table. So we wouldn't do this on the first turn. So we move to the threat phase. Because there's no threats on the table. So we would move to the crew phase. And the crew phase is getting our guys together here. So, yep. We've got to move around, and our objective is to secure these 3 objectives by the end of turn 2. By the end of turn 10. So yeah. I guess the first thing we'll do is move. Reeves Maginot up 3. So she moves 3. Yeah. And then she spends an action to open the door. Whoosh. Those are perfectly printed and tight. Well, it might be the paint on them. Okay, so now the door's open. That's her action. Everybody gets to go. I don't know if you can move through your own. Crew models may move through other crew models freely. Well, that's great. Let's see. Okay, so I don't think there's anything saying you can't move. But you can also make a stress test to move an additional 6. So you could move technically 9 in a turn. I don't think we want to get too close to that yet. But anyway, we're going to move 3. So we're going to move 6. So he's right outside the door here. And that's Mitch Barner. Okay. Oh, they're all going to basically just move 6. So it's a double move. If I get a rule wrong, and I'm going to get a rule wrong, somebody's going to have to let me know. That's just how it's going to have to go, I think. So, okay, so that's my whole turn. All of them did 2 actions. They're done. Phase 4 is the cleanup phase. Any special rules or temporary effects being at the end? No. Alright, nobody has any stress, so we don't have to do a panic table vital scan. We don't have to do emergency wake-up protocol. We do have to do interior scan. So starting on the second turn of the game, players roll a d10 on the high threat area table found on page 56 for each HTA token. So it's high threat area token. Okay. Let's go to the ones furthest away first. It's a d10. I'll get all the dice out of here so we don't get confused. So this one back here, d10. It's an 8. Environmental detection. A change in environment. Add a microenvironment to the sector the HTA is in. If the token is not within a sector, create a sector. Okay, so we then have to go. We need a quick reference for this, but I believe it says it's coming. So, okay, so there's already a micro environment there called bodies. So we're going to add another one. And we got to roll another d10 for that. It's a 9. Trophy Hunter. Complete when... Oh, no, this is plan B. Sorry, hold on. 20. Yeah, d20. 17 is confined. Move actions cost 2 action points in the sector. So we can find our... So there's bodies, and it's confined. We can put that there. Okay. We didn't do a plan B, though, so we should probably do a plan B. 5. Complete when volume of fire has been used 5 or more times. Okay, so that was the first one back there. Let's roll for this one in the storeroom back there. It's a 1. Large threat confirmed. Oh, great. If playing with a threat with 30 plus body, roll d10. On a result of 1 to 2, replace the HTA token. If playing with a threat less than 30, place 2 threat models in contact with the HTA token. Well, that's dynamite. That seems pretty terrible. We definitely have to go there. Okay, so then this one back here. 8. Environmental detection. Add a random micro sector, and that's a 1. And a 1 is normal lighting. No effect. It's weird because there's one that's already in there that says darkness. So we're just going to say nothing. And it's still dark somehow. And then the last one is in the middle of the board there. That's a 5. Movement detected. Move the HTA token 4 inches towards the closest crew member. Okay. So 4 inches towards the closest crew member is like right next to Mitch Barner. Yeah, it's right next to him. Okay. Then we would move to the threat phase. During the threat phase, blah, 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 blah. As the crew's level of stress increases, it can have a direct impact on the ability to stay focused and perform under mounting pressure. Okay, I don't have to worry about that. Nobody is stressed yet. Okay, so I can't really find it exactly, and I know that it says in the book that maybe, and I know Blackside Studios have said as well, they're not into making games that have like a rule for every tiny little interaction. So when it says move threats, it just says move threats and make attacks. So this can interact, so we're just going to have it move and interact with the door, and the door has a target number of 4, and its interact is a d6 minus 1. Yeah, target number 4, so the door opens. So that one moved, and then opened the door. And the next one, behind it, is going to move 6. And then he's right in the room with him. Oh, Lord. I'll move the couch. Okay. So that's the threat turn. It's the crew phase. Maginot Reeves has the assault rifle. Another thing that I don't necessarily love is how big these sheets are for the crew. So I feel like I'm just going to make some spreadsheets to like make my own. So this guy is moving here. Oh, they're right by an HTA. Let me find out what that means. Okay, so that would have been if she activated within 3 of the HTA. She would have had to make a stress test or lose an action point, but she didn't. But he will have to do something when he activates, if he ever gets a chance, or he's just murdered. But she's gonna volume of fire at this gentle alien here. I would go to her sheet, go to her stress, which is a D8. There's a target number of 4, so I gotta get 4 or higher. And I got a 1. She takes a stress. She still gets to use volume of fire, which is she's going to add a D10 to the damage of her assault rifle. And her D10 plus 1 is her ranged combat. So first thing I have to do is I have to take their defense. Okay, so a defense for an alien is D6 plus 1. And he got a 2. So I've got to get higher than a 2. And I got a 3. Oh my god, just barely. Well, it would be a 4. So got a 4. Then I'm going to roll for damage, which is D10 plus 1 plus another D10. Because of the volume of fire. So D10 plus D10. So that's 6. Plus 1 is 7. And that's 2. So it's 9. So it takes 9 damage. From 30. Jeez. He has an incinerator. So maybe he needs to go next, but he's going to lose his... He's going to lose 1 action, so he can only volume of fire and then incinerate. So he can't do anything else. So let's go to Mitch Barner. His range combat is 6, D6, which isn't great. So first we have to roll the defense plus 1 for the Xeno, which is 3. And then I have to roll a D6. So I need a 3 or higher and volume of fire. Oh, volume of fire I get to roll for stress first too. So a D8, target number 4. You know, he's stressed. No, never mind, he's stressed. But he still gets to do it. So that's just great. So then a D6. No pluses, so 3 or higher. It's a 1. It's a critical failure. This game is punishing already. Critical failure. In addition to the attack model needing to make a stress test if able, the following rules also apply. If the threat rolls the critical failure, if the crew model rolls the critical failure, mark the crew model with a defensive stance token. Oh, that's just... I believe that's this one, so I'm just going to put it up there. So he fails completely. He doesn't do anything. And he's got to make a stress test. Oh, he's stressed again. Things are going terribly wrong. The alien is in base contact with the door, and that sector's adjacent. So we'll go with Malone, who is the captain in the chair, and she will use voice authorization as an action to slam this door, which is called hydraulic death, because now their bases are too big, but she's in contact with the door space, which is how I'm doing it. So this door slams on that Xeno, killing it instantly. So we did something. That actually feels really good. I forgot that she had that. Okay. And then, I guess then she'll just move. And then, what's his name? Roderick? Roderick is going to go. And he's going to move up. 6. 3. You see, the problem is there's not a lot of room in this terribly condensed hallway. Maybe he could move up 3 and investigate that HTA. Is that a terrible idea? You get to just in front of them here and investigate the HTA. Okay, no, we can't do that because investigate is worth 2 actions. It's not a 1 action point. So some of the actions are worth more than 1. So we can't do that. So he moved, and then I'll just have him. I'm going to have him stay there. It's not going to go well for him, but he's going to stay there. And we start with the ISS phase, which should have more going on now because of the stress. During this step, the ISS directly monitors the crew's current vitals and temperament. During this step, crew models with their stress boxes marked will roll a D10 with all their stress boxes marked. Okay, so nobody has that. So it's somebody who has all their stress tested. Okay, so then we move on to rolling for the high threat area table, which unfortunately there's one right here. And there's still 2 back there. So let's go to that one back there first. It's a D10. It's a 9. Threat status unchanged. Nothing happens. Oh my gosh. This one over here. It's a 7. Movement detected. Move the HTA token 4 inches towards the closest crew member. And it can move through walls and do everything else it needs to as well. So it's literally just going to move like right over here. I need to get like a little piece of tape or something. Or tokens you can lift up instead of just laminated paper. Okay, the last one's here. Oh my god. It was a 10, which means nothing happens. Yes! Oh my god. Oh, but it's the threat phase, so that's not great. Threats move and attack. So he's literally just going to move. He has more than enough space. He would attack this guy. I put the threats on 40 millimeter bases. I think I might have increased their size a little bit. I should have put them on 32. But also, this terrain, I dropped down and printed the Blacksite Studios terrain at 80% instead of 100. 1, to save time, and 2, to make it more confined. I didn't realize that it was going to make things a little bit harder, but it's okay. It's a narrative game, right? So that'd be total stress among the crew. Should be 3. 1, 2, 3. So we're fine. Then we move the threat and it makes its attacks. It will make all of the attacks in order listed on their threat card. If the threat is not in contact with the crew model, move it 2 inches directly towards the closest crew model. Okay, that's lunge. This one is Bursting Spines. Make a ranged combat attack against every crew model within 6 inches in line of sight. That's these 3. This guy's not. So he's going to shoot all 3 of those guys. So ranged combat is D6. Okay, so this is going to take a little bit of doing. So my defense for Roderick is a D8. Okay? So he's got to roll a 6 or higher, and his attack is a D6 plus 1. So he could 6 or higher. He's got a 4, so that misses. Then we go to Mitch Barner, whose defense is a D8. So that's a 1. And he's got to roll a D6 or higher. So he's got to roll 2. Which he does. That's a 4. So then he does a... Oh, it's not a plus 1. Never mind. It's just a 1. But he does his damage as a D6 plus 1. So Mitch Barner is about to take 7 damage. Mitch! No! Mitch just got hurt. This is because he missed with his incinerator. Come on, Mitch. And then Reeves Maginot has a D8 as well for defense. And it's an 8, so he's got to roll range combat D6 or higher. I don't think he can. D6, it's not higher than an 8. So no damage there. That fails. Then we have Rending Claws. Make a melee combat attack against each crew member in contact. Melee combat is a D10, unfortunately. So the only one in contact is Roderick, and we'll see what his defense is a 4. It's not great. So then a D10 from the alien is a 4. So he matches it, so he hits. And then his attack is a D8 plus 1. It's 6. So Roderick takes 6. Not a great third turn. I think this HTA token is replaced by the aliens, so it can go. The Xenos that popped up. Okay, so that's the threat phase. It was awful. Now we're moving to the crew phase. Here we go, crew. We're kind of stuck there because we can't move past it. So let's go with Reeves Maginot, since she's our damage dealer. And she's going to attack. Oh, you know what? She's going to do some of the... So with the crew members that are specialists, they have different things. No, I'm not going to do any of that. She's going to aim, I think, which is add +1 to the next range or melee attack this crew model makes this turn. So I've got a +1, so I get a +2 to my ranged combat. And a D10. Okay, so she's going to attack with volume of fire, which means I have to do a stress test, which is a D8, which means I need to get higher than a 4. I don't. So she takes another stress. This is not going well. My guys are just stressed, but she still gets to use the volume of fire, which is 3. 3 times I've used it now. So we got to take the Xenos defense, which is a D6 plus 1. And that's a 4, so it's a 5. So we got to go higher than a 5 on a D10 plus 2. Where's the D10? Higher than a 5. It's an 8, it's a 10. So it's not a natural critical because we added the 2. So then, volume of fire adds a D10. So I'm rolling 2 D10s plus 1. I have 2 D10s. Plus 1, that's 9. 10. So 10. And it was at 21, so it's down to 11. Which I feel like is still not great. Because it's still right there. She volume of fired and attacked. And aimed. Man, I almost feel like it would have been better to attack twice. Can you attack twice? Any combination of actions as long as it has the action points to spend. But I'll tell you this. Mitch Barner's going to attack with his flamethrower. Should we use Volume of Fire? Mitch is already quite stressed. Okay, let's use Volume of Fire anyway. And then let's aim. So Xeno Defense is D6 plus 1. It's 7. His defense is 7. Which means Mitch Marner can't hit him. Because he's only got a D6. No, he's got a plus 1. Oh, God. Because he aimed. I gotta do Volume of Fire anyway. Oh, this is such a waste of life. Stress test. D8. 4 or higher. Hey, he passes his stress test. And then he has to roll a 6 here. Because he's got to get higher than... He's got to get a 6 plus 1 is 7. He has to match it. Nope, it's a 1. It's a critical failure. It's a critical failure. Because why wouldn't it be? Which means he has to make a stress test. 4 or higher. 3. He gets stressed anyway. Turns out he was not the right guy to give an incinerator unit to. It's a terrible display of incinerating. Roderick's going to hit him with a wrench. Because Roderick has a large wrench. So let's attack the alien and find out what the alien's defense is. The alien's defense, this action is... They're all been activating next to that HTA. Okay, I gotta skip that this turn. Because I forgot about it, but I think they all have to make a stress test next to it. Okay, so they would have all had to make a stress check. Because they activated next to the HTA. So I guess I should just like retroactively do that for Mitch Barner. And this one's target number 3. He passes. For Reeves, she fails. It's a 1. So she takes another stress. And then for Roderick as well, I could also choose to lose an action, but I don't want to do that. It's a 4, so he passes. So back to hitting the alien with a wrench. Let's roll the alien's defense. D6 plus 1. It's a 3. Okay, that's great. Melee combat is a D6 for Roderick. Come on. 3 or higher. Come on. It's a 3. So he hits, and then his strength is what he's going to attack with, and that's goes up a skill level, which would have been a D8, but now it's a D10. So he's going to do D10 damage. Come on, 10. Come on, 10. It's a 3. So down to 8. Okay, so I don't think there's anything in the rules that says he can't attack again. Can he? He can attack again. Let's do it. Let's find out the alien's defense. It's a 6. Well, that's why you don't do it again. Yep. So then we attack with another D6, which we'd have to match. It's a 3, so that attack fails. Okay, that's wonderful. And Malone stays at the back doing nothing. Because Malone can't see that alien. And you know what the funny thing is I think there's actually... Pull away. We could pull away, but that doesn't help us. I was hoping maybe there was like a shove or something. Pull away, shove. Oh, there is a shove. An opposed strength skill check with the threat. If the crew model wins the check, oh, okay. Well, we'll have to do that next turn if we don't somehow kill it. So then that would be the end of the crew phase. We have been bottlenecked in here, and it's not good. I've used Volume of Fire 4 times and have all the stress to show for it. And then we would move to the ISS phase. Okay, so we start with the ISS phase. And that's, we got to do the HTA rolls. So there's one back there still, D10. That's a 9. Nothing happens. One here that moved. It's a D10. That's a 9. Nothing happens. This one's going to just be awful. And that one's a 1. It's a large threat confirmed. If playing with a threat with less than 30, place 2 threat models in contact with the HTA token. This is the roughest game. I can't unless I shift things. So, can we say they burst through the door and kind of move stuff back? Since we have to place 2. Oh my goodness. We're in trouble. So we're going to have to like shift things and be like, yep, they burst through the door and made things terrible. I don't even think I can get them. I'm going to remove that token because I think it removes, but it's going to be difficult, so I'm not going to remove it just yet. So the living room becomes a mess. And there we go. Oh, great. Okay. So we are surrounded by Xenos now. Oh my god. Okay. This one would move and come in contact with Reeves' Maginot, and then it would go through its attack nonsense. They have a field of view of 180. So this one should kind of be looking this way, actually, since it's in contact with them. So it's straight ahead. Lunge. Doesn't have to do that. Attack with bursting spines. Make a range combat attack against everyone it can see. Oh, within 6. That's everyone. Okay, so all my guys' defenses is D8, so that's easy enough to do. Oh no. Malone is D6. So first against Reeves, it's a 4, so the alien has to do better than a 4, and it's just a D6 range combat. 4 misses. The next one's against Mitch Barner. 6, 5 misses, and the next one is against Malone, which is a 6. So 4 and 3 misses. Okay, misses all of its attacks. But then attacks Reeves with Rending Claws. And that one's a D10. And hers is a D8. So her defense is a 7. And his attack is a 2. Misses. Whew, okay, now we gotta go over to Roderick. So this one will attack. So none of them. They're both gonna make ranged attack. Every crew model within 6 in line of sight. Yep. So a ranged attack first. So their ranged is a D6. So his is a D8 defense. 2 and 5, that's a hit. And then it's a D6 plus 1. It's a 2, so it's a 3. So Roderick gets hit for 3. It's not going so well, Roderick. The next one, then the Rending Claws. So Rending Claws is a D10 versus a D8. Just roll them together, eh? That's a 2 and a 6, so that's a hit. And then it's just a D8, which is 2. Plus 1, it's 3. He's being just mutilated. And the next one uses its bursting spines again. So that's a D8 plus a D6. It's a 1 and a 2, that's fine. Nothing there. Misses, but then a lunge, which is the D10 versus the D8. And 4 and 7. Mitch. No, Roderick. Roderick, you sly person, you. Okay, this wasn't 16. No. This was 11. That got moved. Alright, so we're on to the crew phase. Oh my gosh. I'm gonna go with Malone. And Malone is going to use one action to voice activate this door. Open. And then the other action, she's going to shoot her pistol. Because she has a service pistol. It's not great, but, you know, whatever. Okay. So she's going to shoot that alien back there. Defense is D6 plus 1. And the range combat is D8. D6 plus 1, range combat D8. Okay, 2 and 4. So it would have been a 3 and a 4. Awesome. Hits. And then it's a D6 plus 1 damage, so it's not much. It's a 2, so it's a 3. So 27 health left for that guy. You know, no big deal. I can put this over here to kind of help me remember that. So that's Malone's turn. She did something at least. She's done more than the guy with the flamethrower. The guy with the flamethrower is going to go next, I think, because he's done nothing. Mitch Barner. So Mitch Barner is going to... Yeah, he's going to use his incinerator. You know? Oh, it's just a D6. God. Okay, so he's going to try to incinerate this alien. It's a D6 plus a D6 plus 1. So, D6 plus 1, it's a 7. So, never mind. Jeez. He rolled a 1 anyway. Which is a critical failure. Which means he has to make a stress test, right? Oh my god. Are you kidding right now? Yeah, he's got to make a stress test. Oh, and he's in the defensive stance already, right? Oh my gosh. So it would have been minus. Oh, Mitch Barner is stressed to the max. It's not going well. I'm sure that when I know the rules better, maybe it'll be easier, but maybe it won't. So he attacked. And let's just attack again. Because you know what? It doesn't matter. So D6 plus 1 defense. It's a 2. Okay. Mitch, you can do this. You can beat a 2. It's a 5. He beats a 2. And he's going to roll 2 D10s. And whichever one is higher is what the damage is. Flamethrower. It's a 5. Okay. Does 5 damage to it, which brings it down to 22. Yeah. There you go. Mitch, you finally done something. I forgot about this defensive stance. So it would have been a -1 there anyway, but it still would have beat it. So it's okay. We have burned that alien. We didn't use volume of fire, which we've used 4 times. We need to use volume of fire 1 more time. Okay. Roderick is going to go and he's going to shove. He's going to shove both of them. He's going to try to anyway. It's an opposed strength skill check with the threat. Their strength is a D10. Oh man, his is a D8. Okay, well let's try. This is a D10, his is a D8. We'll try this one first. Yeah, they got a 10, and we got a 5. So that doesn't happen. He'll try to push this one, and it says in any direction, so let's try this one. Shove. It's an 8 and a 1, so no shoving, and that's his whole activation when he could have been using a wrench to hit people. It's clearly a mistake. So Reeves Maginot is going to go. Let's get her sheet out. Sorry, I got it up on the board there. Reeves Maginot is going to attack and use volume of fire. So she's got to pass a stress test first. A D8 stress test of 4 or higher. She doesn't, so she gets another stress. Oh my god. Okay. Stress is not great. For each stress box that is marked, the crew model adds +1 to the target number for each subsequent stress check. Okay, so we got to remember that because she would have added a +4 to that. Oh, sorry, a +3 to it. Okay. We're still learning the game, guys, so hopefully every time we play it, it's going to get better and better. Or it will stay worse and worse. And as long as I have fun, I think that's the whole point, right? Either way. She's using the volume of fire. She got the stress. We'll try to remember the stress rule from now on. So she's going to attack. Shoot that old alien there. So his defense, again, is D6 +1. It's a 6. Of course it is. And she's got a range combat of D10 +1, so at least that's something. And volume of fire. She's got 5. +1 is a 6. Yes. Right? He had a 6. 6, tie, hits. So it's 2D10. 2D10 damage. Just all we got to do. A lot of damage here. Two 10s would be great. No, but we got 1 10 and a 1. +1, so we just did 12 damage. Which brings it down from 22 to 10. That's a huge hit. She's going to fire again. Right? She didn't aim, so she's going to fire again. She doesn't have the extra damage this time, though. Okay, so his is a D6 +1. And hers is a D10 +1. Well, we hit that because that's an 8 over a 2, which would have been a 3. So 9 over 3. And then just a D10 +1. 7, 8. 8 more damage. We're going to kill that one. It will probably kill me first, though. And we go to the ISS phase, which is not great now that we've got a lot more stress. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. It's amazing that 2 people are so stressed and nobody else is. Okay. That's in the threat phase, though. So we've got to check for our HTAs first. And we've got 2 left on the board. So D10 for that one back there. It's a 6, which would have been movement detective. Move that 4 inches. 4. They can go through terrain and walls and all that, so it doesn't matter. This one over here gets a 7, which would have been move as well. Oh no, it's getting closer. 2, 3, 4. Okay, remind me, everybody, that that's in there. You can't remind me, you're not here. So then we move on to the threat phase, which is the worst phase. We've got minor panic. Oh, so we're still in minor panic. So affected by 4 inches away, HCAs instead of 2. And then the threats are going to do all their terrible things. We'll attack Reeves Maginot first. Her defense is D8. His range combat, because that's what we have to do first, is a D6. D8, D6. I'm going to stop rolling that red D6. It seems to be awful. 4 and 7. So she's good. And then... then it will be a Rending Claws, which is D10 versus D8. These ones are trouble. 3 and a 7. Okay, cool. We're very lucky there. So now this one's going to attack. Oh, he's got to shoot the rest of these too. Oh, man. Okay. So D6 and D8 for Mitch Barner. 4 and 4, so we're good. And then 1 for Malone, which is a D6. 5 and 4, so she gets hit for D6 plus 1 for 2. No! Malone just got acid on her chair. These ones are going to go, and they're both going to shoot, and then they're both going to attack. I don't see how he can make it. Like, at all. They're both going to shoot, and then they're both going to attack. Okay? So, D8, D6 first. D8, D6. It's a 3 and a 1. They're okay there. The next one, it's an 8 and a 5. That's okay. And then Rending Claws. So then this is the hard one because it's D10 versus D8. First one, 2 and a 5. Oh my god. Roderick, just do it, man. 6 and a 3. Nope, got hit that time. And it's a D8 plus 1 for damage. And it's 3 damage for Roderick. He cannot be doing well. He's got 14 damage. I guess if the damage levels are that high, it's okay. Okay, so that's the threat phase. Okay, it's the crew phase. I don't see how we're gonna... We did successfully do our second objective, our plan B. May choose one of the following rewards. Increase all crew skill dice by 1 level. Remove 1 threat model from the table. All crew may immediately unmark 2 stress box. So should we remove a threat model? I think that's what we should do. Okay. Or get rid of the stress. I feel like we should remove that 1 threat that has no damage on it. Okay, we're gonna remove the 1 threat. Screw phase. I'm gonna redo something because I just filmed all that and have to start over. So Reeves Maginot shot this guy. She hit him and did 9 damage, which removes him from the board. I didn't press start recording apparently, so that's fine. So now she's going to move 3. He's moving 3 for sure. And he's going to fire that flamethrower, I think. Which is just the D6 versus the D6 plus 1. So let's just do it. Xeno defense is 1. Fantastic. His attack is... So it would be 2. His is 6. So he hits. And then he's going to roll 2 d10s and see which one is higher. And he's going to hit for 8. Yes. Roderick is going to go. Roderick's going to go and hit him with a wrench. Oh God, I hope he hits him. I hope he hits him with a wrench. Alright, so D6 plus 1 for defense. That's 7. Now, right, there we go. And it's a D6, so I can't actually hit him with the wrench, which is 2. So, never mind. Let's hit him with the wrench again. Okay. Let's do the D6 plus 1. It's a 6. It's a 7. Yeah, so he can't do anything. If this rolls a 6 again, I'm going to throw it out the window. There's a 4. Okay, so there we go. That was Roderick's. So Malone is going to go now. She's just going to wheel up. Just wheels up here. And she'll shoot the alien with her pistol. Which she's been actually useful with for once. I don't know why I'm like just so sure that she's terrible. But I am. So she's going to shoot. And her melee is 8 and his is a D6 plus 1. So D8 plus D6 plus 1. D6 plus 1 is 5, 6. And she's got a 4. So that's a miss. All we had to do was 3 damage. A pistol and 2 wrench shots could not take this alien down. Oy, oy, oy. That is everybody's turn. ISS phase. ISS phase. Vital scans. Nope, we're good. If there are no high threat area tokens, stable, add 2. Well, there are still. So we're still good. Starting on the second turn. Yep, we're all still good. So we gotta move the high threat areas. Oh, they're coming, eh? D10. This one is a 6. Movement detective. This one's gonna move. Just pretend that like I did that really coolly. Okay. So now that's within 4 of those guys, so they're all gonna lose an action or have to do a stress test. Okay, that's fantastic. The one back there, D10. It's a 2. Oh, it's a threat. It's a threat. With 30 plus body, replace that HDA token with 1 threat. If playing with a threat with 30 plus body, replace the HDA token with 1 threat. If playing with a threat with less than 30 body, place 1 threat model in contact with the HTA token. Oh, so the token would stay out, but these are 30. So that one alien that we removed off the board slunk into the vents and now he's back. He's not going to stop us. He's probably definitely going to stop us. Considering this one is going to shoot everyone. Oh my god. Okay, we're still in minor panic. Which is great. I feel like rolling 2 threats right off the bat was nuts. And I like how they keep coming even though you defeat them. That's a kind of a cool feature. Okay. So let's just move this one first, and he's going to move 6. But he's got to move up here and interact with the door first. And his interact is 6 minus 1. And the door is 4. I know that it's a lot of jumping back and forth, but it's a TN4. So he's going to interact. And his interact is D6 minus 1. So it's a 3. He does not open the door. So he's just going to stand there with the door closed for a minute. It would have been better to have him open the door, because then on Malone's turn she could have slammed the door on him, because it would now she's closer to that sector. It's adjacent. So that would have been great. Because this is a sector, this is a sector, this is a sector, and this is a sector. Oh well. Or not sector quadrant? I can't remember which one it is. It doesn't really matter. Okay, so now this alien's gonna attack all of them with a ranged attack versus, let's do all the D8s first. So ranged attack versus Roderick, fail. Ranged attack versus Reeves, fail. Ranged attack versus Mitch Barner, pass. And then that's a D6 plus 1. It's only 2. Okay. And then it's a D6 versus a D6 for, what's her name? So Alien has got a 2, she's got a 6. She's okay. He's in contact with Roderick, so he's throwing a D10 and Roderick's throwing a D8. 2 for the Alien, 6 for Roderick, so that's awesome. Crew phase. I forgot all about this defensive stance thing, so I'm gonna... It was Mitch Barner who had it. So he's gonna use both of his actions to get rid of it, because I should have to suffer the consequences of that. He's not within 4 of the HTA, so that's okay. So she's gonna shoot. So that's Reeves Maginot is gonna shoot. D6 plus 1 for defense, and she's shooting a D10. I swear to God. She rolled a 1, and he rolled a 4, which means she needs to take a stress test. Oh my God. Target number 4, she passes that at least. So she's going to attack again. Attack again. It's a 1, and it's a 6, so she's got to take a stress test. Target number 4, she passes. Oh my God. And she couldn't even have done that, because she's within 4. Oh no, she passed the stress test, right? Did she pass? I don't remember if I did it. Either way, she didn't do anything, so she just loses all her activations. Mitch Barner doesn't have any activations. We gotta go with Wrenchy. We gotta go with Roderick McWrench. So it's D6 versus D6 plus 1. Let's do the Alien first. D6 plus 1. 4. Wrench. It's a 3. So no wrench. And then I'm either going to take a stress test or not have that second action. I'll take a stress test. It's a D8, so it's got to be higher than 4. Nailed it. Now, Alien's defense for another wrench is 1. Oh, here we go. So it's actually 2. And he rolled a 5. So he just wrenched that alien for... Where's his wrench? It's a D10. He's just about to clock this thing in the brain. 5. Done. Killed it. Only had 3 left. You just got clocked in the brain. This has been the most horrific opening of a game ever. Okay. That's the crew turn. No. Did Malone shoot? No, Malone didn't go, right? Because I went with... He did a double to get out of defensive. She shot twice and missed. He hit twice and hit once, so she's going to go back there. And she's going to double move for 6, which brings her to, like, here. I don't want her right next to the door. Okay. That is the turn. So now we go to the ISS turn. I passed like every stress test that turn. That's crazy. ISS phase. Everybody is still fine there. We're gonna do HTA, which is one HTA left. I swear to God, if it's an alien, it's gonna be an alien. No, it's gonna move. So it just moves even closer. So it just moves right next to these two. And her up there. So they're all going to have to do stress tests. Or he's going to investigate it. Which means gets rid of it. That's going to make them less than 2 on the board. Or there's less than 2 on the board now. If there's no HTAs on the board. Oh, it's kind of like you want to make sure there are no HTAs left on the board. Or you just want one floating around, if I'm reading that right. Okay, so it's the threat phase. The alien can't move, but he's going to interact with the door. It's not defined very well. And it's a target number of 4. And his interact is D6 plus 1. He opens the door. And he's in contact with the door. So that's his turn. Because it just says move and then attack. Well, he's not going to move and attack. He had to open the door. And now she's going to slam the door on him. So, yeah. So then it's the crew phase. And the crew phase is going to be Malone goes. And Malone is going to slam the door on the alien. And then do a stress test for a second action. So she slams the door on that alien. He dies immediately. Where's the door? Should have gone around the other way, buddy. There's no door the other way. But you're an alien. So then she has to do a stress test of D8 to see if she's going to get into her second action. I don't know if that's how you're supposed to do it, but that's how I'm doing it. No, she fails. She still gets the second action, but she's stressed. That's her first stress, though, so that's not the worst. And then she's just going to move 3 up and in there. Like within, she's right there now. Next turn, she can investigate that thing. All these guys have to do stress tests. So let's see if Roderick passes his stress test. Roderick doesn't have any stress, so let's get him moving. Stress test against 4 or higher. Passes. He's double moving. Because, like, it's go time now. We gotta get these... We gotta investigate these tokens. And they take 2 action each for investigation. So Reeves Maginot is gonna go next. See if she passes her stress test. She does. So she's taking 2 actions. So she's going this way. And then we're gonna take Mitch Barner. Mitch Barner is going to see if he passes his stress test. He doesn't. Of course he doesn't. Mitch Barner is highly stressed. Oh, no, he just healed 2 stress. No, he switched from defense. So he's highly stressed. So he still gets his 2 actions, which might be we need to do something about stress. Oh, no, he can't do anything. So he's just going to double move, I think. But which way. He's got to go this way. He's got to go with this lady. The officer. Okay, that's the crew turn. And now we move on to the ISS turn. I'll get it all down one of these days. If there are no high threat area tokens, which there are, add 2. But we don't need to. But we do need to see what that one does. And that one is movement detected. He's going to move 4 towards the closest. I think that's her. This is roughly 4. Yeah, actually it's a little bit further back. Great, wonderful. Oh, so she gets to find out if she's stressed again. Okay, move on to the threat phase. There's nothing there except for we still have minor panic. So that's still 4 instead of 2. No threats on the table. We move on to the crew phase. Let's go with Maginot first. She's going to check. What's she going to check? She's going to check stress. She passes. And she's going to double move this way. So she went. Malone is going to investigate. Makes an interact skill check, TN4, and then +1 for each one already investigated. So it's just a TN4 for her interact, which Malone's interact is a D10. So we just get higher than 4. That's a 10. So we can remove that from the board. What's Mitch Barner going to do? Seriously. What's he doing back there? He's going to move again? She had to use both actions to do that. So he's just going to move 3, which is just on this side of the door, just in case, I guess. That's his turn. And then Roderick is going to go. And Roderick goes here, which means 6. And now he's in this room, and we've got some special things in this room. We got bodies, and we've got confined. So let's take a check of those. Bodies. Each time a crew member model activates in the sector, make a stress test. Great. When a crew model is attacked in the sector, they go into defensive stance. Okay. So right now we're fine for that. And then confined. 2 action points in the sector to move. When a crew model moves 4 inches or more from a single action in the sector, they make a stress test. So I have to use 2 actions to move, or make a stress test, and I have to make a stress test because of the bodies. Wonderful. Okay. That's everybody. We go back to the ISS phase. We're literally like down to the wire here because we're on starting turn 2. She's about to run into darkness, so we should find out what that does too. -3 to range melee, -1 to melee combat. Make a stress test when entering the sector. Crew may not move out of defensive stance in the sector. Okay, so she's got to make a stress test moving in here. But anyway, we got to do ISS phase first, which should be, there actually should be not much going. Then we're going to roll for the HTA. It's a 10, nothing happens. Okay. Go to the threat phase, there's nothing going on there. We're still at minor panic. Crew phase. So she's going to double, she's only going to move, no, she's within 4, so she can investigate it. Doesn't say anything, so she can just try to interact with it because she's within 4 of it. but she's got to do both tests, and it's a target number of 4, and her interact is not good. Her interact is a 6. D6. It's a 1. So she fails that. She's the reason we're going to fail the mission. You know that, right? So that's her whole turn. I can't even get Mitch Barner there fast enough. He's not within 4 of that, so he can go 6 this way. He can't even... I'm going to have him move back this way. No, I'm going to have him move right here. Okay. Then Malone is going to move 6, because she's just going to double move back into this room, just in case that HDA turns into a Xeno. He's within 4 of that. He's going to double activate, but I think he has to do a stress test just for being in the room. Yeah, he's got to do a stress test just for being in the room. So a D8, 4 or higher, he passes that. And then Roderick's interact is D10 plus 1. So he's got to get 4 or higher. Oh yeah, he nails it. So he gets that objective. We have 1 objective left, and it's her. And she has the worst interact. So, whatever. That's the turn. We go back to the ISS phase. We find out what this thing does. Roll a 9. That's nothing happens. And then threat phase. There's nothing going on in the threat phase. We're still at minor panic. And now we've got to go. We're on 1. This is the last turn. So she has to succeed for us to survive the mission. Or for us to complete the mission. Do I go with the other guys first, or I just get to find out if she does it? Okay, let's just get to find out if she does it. Okay, she's gonna get 4 or higher. It's a 6. She investigates that objective. That's the end of the mission. I'll just say the other guys pass. That's the mission over. We succeeded the mission. I don't know what the follow-up is, because I haven't read the continuing presence. The campaign is called the Continuing Presence, but I will, and I should have that for the next game. I'm certain I got a ton of rules wrong. Whatever I got wrong, let me know in the comments below. Help me learn this game better, because I mean, it's not a super complicated game, but there are a lot of rules, and the book is laid out well to learn the game. I don't know that the book is laid out well to remember every little rule, because they're kind of like set up like, read this and then you'll know how to play it. But there's a couple rules that are like a little further back and like moved around a little bit. The book is laid out really well to learn the game. It's just, there's a couple things back and forth. It doesn't matter. I really like it. It's tense. We're down to the last turn, to the last roll, and we got it. And things did not go great. We killed a bunch of aliens. Luckily, the voice authorization to slam the doors on their brains. Like, there's brain and viscera all over the place, so... Yeah. Yeah, I should have put the camera there. Oh, well. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. We're going to have this on again soon for another game of Violent Dark at some point. See ya.